One of the star performers of last year's Warrnambool Carnival was Caulfield trainer Robert Smerdon, who drove away with the elusive Mercedes-Benz as part of the Callaghan Motors Trainers Bonus. He's got a big team entered again for this year's Carnival, and he's been good enough to join us to go through a few of his key runners. Robert, have you made room in the garage for another Merc?
It'd be nice to think we could do it again, but a lot of things have got to go right. A lot of things have got to fall into place. You've got to get track conditions to suit, barriers, big fields, generally the order of the day at Warrnambool. So we've got some good representatives there, but it takes a bit of pulling off.
It does, and you've got to win one of the features, and you've got a couple of key contenders entered for those races over the week. One being Tinamoo, who's a bit of a Warrnambool specialist. I think he's won at the past two Warrnambool Carnivals, beating Moodray last year, and he's in the Cup. What do you think about his chances?
Well, this has been a target for him the whole preparation. The people involved in him go to Warrnambool every year, so we wanted to get him there in the most suitable race. The last couple of years he's won a 0 to 72. He steps up to the Cup this year. If there were rain about, it would greatly enhance his chances. I mean, we're happy with the horse and he's on track, but a wet track would further enhance his chances. So he's probably one of our key runners for sure.
And what did you make of his run at Flemington on Anzac Day?
I think it proved that every run's been improving on the previous one, and I think he's on track for the Cup next week. The 23.50 hit the line well on Monday, come through the run really well, and will further improve off that. So we see him as being pretty much on target.
One of the other features is the Wongoom on the Wednesday. You've got Beyond Pardon entered for that race?
Yeah, look, I reckon he's a great chance, this horse. His first up run was terrific. Just got run down the last 50 after setting a ferocious pace. And last start, he didn't get the best of beginnings, and he was caught wide, only beaten a little over 3 lengths. But again, this is a race we've been looking at with him, all preparation, so everything's come together pretty well for him. But as I said earlier, you've got to get barriers and track conditions to suit. But the horse has been looking at this race for some time, gets in on the minimum, so we're hopeful with him.
Back to the jumps, Stone Black, he's entered for a couple of races. Where are you likely to head with him?
He's in the Galleywood and he's in the restricted hurdle on the Thursday. Not sure whether he's seasoned enough for a race like the Galleywood, so we've got a few days to decide, but he may go to the restricted race on the Thursday.
Bit disappointing in the eyes of punters last start, being beaten at odds on. What did you make of the run?
He missed a trial leading into that, so he was always going to be vulnerable, but overall I was still disappointed, and that's why we might go to the softer option of the restricted race on the Thursday rather than take on the heavyweights in the Galleywood.
And what about one of our most promising horses, No Means Go? I see he's entered for a race down there on the Thursday.
He was to run at Caulfield last week in the 1100 metre 0 to 89, but he got the ballot there, having only had a handful of starts. He's won 3 from 5, so his record's pretty good, but he 1100 0 to 78 suits him pretty well. I don't think it'll matter what the conditions are like on the day. He's by more than ready. They love the wet, so wet or dry, he'll be pretty competitive.